Hello and welcome to the AgriHQ Livestock Insight Report update brought to you by the AgriHQ analysts. I'm Sarah Friel.
And I'm Nicola.
And we're going to run you through the North Island and South Island Livestock Insight reports from last week. But firstly, Nicola's got a wee shout out for Meet the Need.
Hi, Meet the Need. I know that they've been watching the videos, so pretty stoked about that. That's a charity where farmers can donate meat to food banks around New Zealand, and I hear that meat is really well received, which is interesting, right? Because all you hear about is plant-based diets these days, Sarah.
Yes, it is. But if you got the reports last week, you would have seen on the front page we did a deep dive into the People's Climate Vote, which was a study conducted by Oxford University in partnership with the UN to measure 1.2 million people's top favoured methods in attacking climate change. And coming in the top spot was protecting lands and forests. And coming dead last was taking up a plant-based diet, which is really good news for New Zealand sheep meat and beef producers.
Yeah, save the rainforest and let adults eat what they like. Yeah,
exactly.
Sounds like common sense to me. So, in the rest of the report, we had the slaughter markets, of course, pretty uniform, I'd say. Pretty uniform drivers behind the North Island and South Island across the sheep and beef side of things.
Yes.
Really, the roaring New Zealand dollar, how strong that's become. That was cutting into export returns. That was a major driving factor behind some pressure coming onto prices last week. We've also got the ongoing issues around an increased supply with things drying out and some logistic issues which have been there for a while now.
Yeah.
I want to get our audience, if you can, to tap a Southland lamb producer on the shoulder this week, because if they don't know about us, I really think they should. We're seeing a bit of a split market around Southland, quite a difference between what returns you might get if you know what might be available. Hint, 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 I guess. So, I'll move on and maintain my job. So get a Southland lamb producer to subscribe. I think it would be really worth their while. Yes. On the store lamb side of things, you just can't keep the South Island store lamb market down. It is defying expectations. Not so much in the North Island.
No, not quite to the same degree. We did see a lift a couple of weeks ago off the back of some steady rain and a bit of growth in competition at the fielding sale yards. Those prices held last week, but we're unsure where they're going this week, just based off that pressure at the farm gate. It'll be interesting to see how the market handles that.
Yep. Store cattle down here in the South Island, you're not looking too tidy, actually, to be fair. We are seeing a lack of buyers. We hoped that was an anomaly, but it really held into last week. Hopefully, we've got the Southern Man Lawnville sale in for 2 days this week. That's going to be the first offering that we've really seen of those 18-month straight beef cattle. And that's going to be a good gauge of the market. So really curious to see what's going to go on there. And you've got the weaner fairs up there in the North Island, which is also going to have us on the edge of our seats.
We do. We saw beef wieners firstly enter the market last week with the Rangiuru sale, and there's a few more of them around this week. We've got Stortford Lodge, we had Frankton yesterday, so it'll be great to see how the market absorbs those. Overall, we saw the North Island cattle market soften a little bit last week after a bit of increased buying the week prior. Basically, we think it's just down to low feed confidence due to those drier conditions, but there is still a lot of cattle fodder around that would be great for a few new weaners on farm.
Yeah, we've also got this COVID issue that we didn't have a couple of weeks ago. So we got a further lockdown in Auckland that's moved a few sales, Sarah.
Yes, so some calf sales around Northland and South Auckland have been shifted around or postponed, so keep an eye on those. Some have been shifted to the Frankton yard, so don't miss out on calves that are still available.
Yeah, actually, that's a good shout out too. I'm just full of shout outs this week. Is that AgriHQ runs an upcoming sale notification service that's completely free if you go to our website, so you will always be in the know of what's going on there. If we look into this week's report, obviously the store cattle side of things is going to be an interesting thing. Weather, huge driver in what's happening at the moment. Phil Duncan, we had a meeting with him this morning. He was mentioning some alarming terms like drought forming, but then also it sounded like things were going to be good for a bit of rain in the weekend. So you're going to be on the phone with him tomorrow, Sarah?
I will. I'll flesh out all the nitty gritty and hopefully find out what every region can look forward to for the next month or so.
That's going to be super interesting. And we're going to also dig into average export values. Those stats came in last week, so our analysts are going to pour over them, and a bit of a venison update, some movements in those markets. And if we have any space, we'll dig into the EU emissions tax that's proposed. So all that'll be in your inbox on Friday. If you're a subscriber, if you're not a subscriber, head along to agrihq.co.nz, get yourself sorted out.